Community arts? Oh, I don't understand anything about community arts.
The whole art game is a joke anyway. I think it's a waste of money.
Community arts gives people confidence to do things they haven't done before.
No, I don't get involved in them. Well, I don't mind watching them, but I don't get involved in them.
Freeform's a community arts company that's been resident in Hackney now since 1973. Art, I suppose, is we determine as a creative force, and that's important within our group that we see ourselves as artists. What we want to do is make our art accessible to communities, to people, and actually make it a living force again in those communities.
Yeah, come on then.
We use performance games to actually introduce freeform in an exciting, colourful and dynamic way. We want to attract people's attention. We want to say, what's going on, you know, what's happening, something's happening over there, and actually encourage them in a nice way to actually sit down and watch and get involved. It's to provide an initial stimulus, encouraging people to take part in something.
Three, one, two, There we go, there's one for you. And now, Elizabeth has got four.
And there. And right, the two people are holding. Just leave your squeegee there.
Come on,
Gary. Pick it up. Listen. Wonderful. Right, on to the next one. Four step. One, two, three. And right, can the rest of you go over there and watch, because you'll have a go in a minute. But you won't if I see a face like that, because you'll pollute our T-shirt with our little faces. Right. We've got to be quick.
Can I do this?
Yeah, you can.
Remove it
Go everywhere. Right here.
Freeform's mainly about encouraging people to join in with a community thing, an activity that's in the community, at a level where everybody can join in, like it's the mums or their kids, or mums through their kids and dads.
It hasn't really brought the adults together.
Yeah.
But it's brought the children. They're
But do
involved.
you think, I mean, what I see in something like this is that over a period of time, now suppose when we were to work here over a certain period of time, that the adults would then become involved through the kids. Like they go home and they tell the mums, oh, something's going on. Or you might sort of do something at an adult level, like a social evening, which will bring adults in.
No, I don't think
You don't think you would?
No, because I think the adults that are already involved in things like this will continue, and the others that never bothered before They just won't come involved in it.
I mean, if you take something like this, I mean, we were talking about changing, things change. I think things do change over a long period of time. If you take mural work or anything on a building, that's a very obvious display of that sort of thing. I mean, because it does change your environment. And over a long period of time, people can actually say, well, yes, I mean, our surroundings do look drab, but we don't know how to change that. We're about providing people a vehicle for that change, a structure for people to have voices, to be able to say what they feel, and to give people the confidence to be able to say that.
Look at the red. I think she's been using that for quite a while now.
I don't think it's working so well.
Great. Yeah, and the eye's fine. That's lovely, the eye. And that's going to be the forehead up there. You see, it's going to be that bit there. And you get that eyebrow here, like your eyebrow there. Whoops. That's lovely, great. And then you're going to get your nose is going to come down like that. That's fine, and your nose will come out like that. Not too big. That's fine. That's right. And then you're going to get under your nose. You're going to get your two lips coming down under here.
Michael, I can't do the lips.
Can't you? Well, it's going to come down. You really need a mirror to copy yourself.
Freeform's work does happen in sort of inner city areas, you know, your black and grimy, depressed areas. We see mural work and landscaping as a way of enabling people to achieve a physical change, to create a physical image for the places they live in. Caribbean House is a prime example of that. We were invited by the West Indian Concern at Caribbean House to help them to create a visual image for their building that embodied what they wanted to say was happening in that building. And I think very simply, that's how we see our environmental work, is about being able to give people that courage to actually say, hold on, we can have a voice in what's happening around us. We can actually make those changes. I mean, Caribbean House was great. We only worked there for a very short period of time, but in that time we transformed what was an awful frontage to something that was really exciting. People used to stop and, you know, what's going on there? It's fantastic. And that gave them a great sense of importance and achievement. And it's sort of like an infectious process. People say, yeah, great, let's do it in our place. We are based in Hackney, but as a national touring team, we only have a certain amount of time to commit to that area. And we wanted to set up a full-time team that would service Hackney. What the Hackney team is about is sustaining long-term relationships, actually developing new areas of work in Hackney. We have quite a lot of community arts projects in Hackney, but they're mainly of a stationary nature. They have their own buildings. Whereas what we wanted to provide was a mobile resource unit that could travel to the spot to actually work with people in their communities. Our work with kids we see as an investment in the future. What Freeform provides them is an opportunity to work on a larger scale, and through that to actually have a direct effect on the world they live in. We see the essential part of that is that it encourages new ideas, new thoughts and directions for the future. Festivals are just great events. It's a coming together of all different groups in many different forms to celebrate themselves. It's a great way of involving adults. In the Hackney Marsh Festival, what happens is they design their own floats now. They actually build those in workshops beforehand. People realise that they can have control. It's a very exciting and dynamic change. I think it is a political activity because you are asking people to actually sit up and look at what's going on around them, and that is challenging.
We started here in November '75. We had 30 quid between us and persuaded Centerprise to pay the rent for 6 months while we looked around for financing. It was kind of a real long uphill struggle for a long time with no money and leaking roof and too many people wanting posters and nobody. I mean, our idea at the time was a community poster workshop. We wanted people to run it and we wanted people to sort of clean it up and we wanted people to become involved in fundraising. And none of that happened. People really just wanted to come and print their posters and go away, and that's what they did. We were really pretty naive in the beginning in what we thought would happen. And I don't by any means think that the way things have gone necessarily means that it's a failure. It's just been a process of us coming to grips with what people realistically can do. Can I get this tape off? Quite often you'll get 3 people come in from a group to work on a poster. The bloke will immediately take over the design, or he'll immediately take on the printing, and the woman will be sort of relegated to stacking. He'll sort of step in and say, well, are you going to have a go printing now, Nancy? And she'll sort of, oh, I couldn't. Oh, yes, you couldn't. Maybe the bloke will be standing there kind of grumbling a bit, but women come in and they see us doing these things. And once you start seeing yourself as somebody who can do things, then you're in a position to take control of your life. I've got a few sort of first-time ones, too. This was somebody, she said, draw! You're gonna make me draw! That's beautiful. You can screen print on virtually anything. Most people don't, but I'm not altogether sure how you screen printing on shopping bags, but it looks nice. But, well, what we do here, I mean, you can see, by looking at the posters, it's really quite a range of stuff. These Rock Against Racism ones, banners were done for, they were done for the festival in Victoria Park, and they did hundreds of them in all different colors, and they were fantastic, beautiful. And they wore them. That was really nice. We have a lot of women's groups come in. That's something, well, that was quite a nice Women's Aid poster. Yeah. You can print onto white.
Well, not necessarily. If you can get white T-shirts, yeah. But if not, it'll be, yeah, I thought white or a pale colour. Depends on what we can get for the price.
Yeah. Well, what's the easiest? You might want to take, make it fit into a shape, like as a design, sort of. Like a circle or something, just to work out.
Well, I saw the Hackney going around in a thing.
You just rough it out.
You mean some, not drawing, you're not going to say drawing.
Yes, that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, good. I was great artists had to start somewhere. I was going to do, like the whole keys. Good.
How does it sort of relate to what you're doing?
I mean, the holds the key. Well, I like to play on the words in the first place because, I mean, we've got the key to the house, you know, refuge, and all you have to do is come along. And because of the way we work, it's not just a place for people to be. It's sort of learning to suss out things and support, working collectively, blah, 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 you know. And it says it, doesn't it?
Okay, and lift it up, flood it back.
Bring it back further.
That's fine, lovely.
Is it scented?
Oh, yes, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I don't believe it.
Actually, that's pretty good, considering I wasn't looking.
That's not bad. The orange on that purple. I don't think it'll sell, but never mind.
What about the pale blue then?
Uh-huh. And then the peach.
What then?
That's a weird colour.
Yeah.
Just do it again.
I've got all this. When I flood it, when you say do it, can I do it back with it on that?
Well, you shouldn't actually.
Oh!
Oh, it's nice,
that is,
isn't it?
oh,
Yeah.
wow. I still can't believe I've done it yet. I mean, honestly, I mean, it's really, I just can't believe I've done it.
Yeah.
What sort of group are you?
We're just local people that sort of use Hoxton Hall, the local pie and mash shop servers, and they sort of really understand the bus driver.
Yeah, I came in just to play the piano for a pantomime. That's how I started. It was about 2.5 years ago.
When I started it, I said Margaret Shepherd was running it at that point, and she said, "Oh, come and have a look and you know, see what it's about." And then that was 3 years ago, and I'm still looking.
There's a lot of fun in what we do. You know, we get a great deal of enjoyment out of it, really. You know, it's fun.
I think that's probably the main thing. It's not the performance, it's the fun sort of making it up and just working together. And we go off, like last year we went off to Devon and did a play there for a sort of a holiday, and we're off to Cornwall this year.
What, you all go on holiday together to work out a play, is that it?
Yeah.
So you all arrange your holidays at the same time, yeah?
Well, most. It's not quite all the group, because some can't get off of work. But I think 2/3 of the group.
Okay.
You think that?
Cheerio, anyway. Thanks.
Ask me another one, quick. What was it?
We're going soon.
I know that one.
Hoxton Hall, the best way to describe Hoxton Hall to start with, I would think, is to say it's a community centre. That's the normal way we describe it.
There's a youth club that 3 of the people are involved in. There's a pensioners club, there's a lunch club, there's a legal aid that we help bring into the building and set up. But our main work is in drama.
If you're doing a play, at the same time, each person is learning to bring out something from inside themselves, something individual which they're putting into the whole thing. And everybody can see each other in a different light and learn more about each other and respect each other and appreciate each other much more.
Most of them didn't really, the ones that exist now, didn't really know each other 3 years ago. Whereas now they're sort of supporting each other, they're a self-supporting group that sort of look after each other and care for each other.
We've been working in Hoxton with the group for about 4 years. And it's all right for us because we work there, but people that work on buses or do shift work or work in children's homes or any kind of job, or single mums with kids, would find it very difficult to make the sort of commitment you need to get a play together. And it's really relaxing to have a complete week or several days where you're all together and you aren't waiting for somebody because they're late or because they're at work, and you can really get on with both enjoying yourself and getting a play together. We don't do scripted plays on the whole. We make up a play as a group, which I think is a different thing because it means that you are responsible entirely for the end product. That's got to be good. I don't think we're in a sort of business where we think, oh, if it's a lousy play, it doesn't matter, we've all had a good time. We should be ensuring that we're all saying things in our plays which are important to us, and we're saying them as effectively as possible.
Well, I think one of the first things we have to decide which period we're actually going to go from. You know, I mean, if we're going to go right back to William the Conqueror, I mean, it's going to get very, you know, sort of long-winded. If we start at the end thing, which is Hoxton today, we might actually get how to
go backwards in the feet.
So, I mean, what do people feel? I mean, are they happy with Hoxton?
No. To my mind, I mean, tower blocks, if you like, they can knock them down because that's the worst state of communication between families that ever was.
And just a practical thing, like actually getting to the town hall, you've got to go right to the other side of Hackney now.
And the council keep passing the buck, and they just let Hoxton deteriorate. As far as we are still, we are still fighting the Hackney Borough Council to be recognised as an area.
Is it the council who actually can solve your problems for you?
Oh, yeah.
You believe that, do you?
I don't. Not by pouring money in, sorry.
Yeah.
You believe that?
I don't believe that they can, by pouring money in, that it will do. I mean, it will just build
not just
different
pouring money in, they've got to put
buildings and...
Yeah.
I think the people inside have got to... Maybe years ago, people did join the equivalent of tenants associations. They banded together. Why don't they today? Why don't they join things?
Do you want to come out, maybe at the end of the play, saying, we hope it will be like this, we want this, you know, or do you want to just do it as a complete history?
I can't see that history is at all interesting unless you can see any kind of significance for it.
You've got to watch it doesn't get too political, because you were saying yourself
I
there's
know.
a mistrust of the sort of the art people in Hoxton as being sort of overtly left wing, you know.
I don't particularly think there's a danger that we'll alienate a lot of Hoxton people because they'll think, oh, they're a load of old politicos, because the audience won't like tower blocks any more than we do.
We do all, I think all, I can safely say that, you know, come to the drama group for a social reason. But obviously we talk about our lives and, you know, things we get up to and what we're into. So, I mean, we all, you know, get a much broader outlook on, you know, on life in the area, which happens to be Hoxton. Trying to say how the drama group affects what I do in other things is very difficult. I mean, you're not conscious of what effects it has on you and how you relate to other people. One thing I mainly like about it is that it is not political. I mean, we don't, you know, sort of plough into all the social evils around and all this. But, I mean, because we're just ordinary people that live in and around Hoxton or work in Hoxton, these things come out. I mean, they're bound to come out. But there's no hang-ups about them, you know, you just, you know, you do it.
We are coming through Hoxtonville, singing, singing, buttercups and daisies. We milk the cows and we get the hay folded in. Her eyes are blue and her name is Daisy. She gives soft milk and we're not lazy.
You know, I've had an idea at the back of my mind.
Oh, be quiet. You always have ideas.
I'm serious. I'm not acting. This idea. We've been pushed from pillar to post, shoved there, and now we're out of the city.
You don't have to tell us that.
Why don't we build our own theatre?
Say that again.
We can build our own theatre. I know where I can get some money.
But where are we going to build it?
Why not here?
Theatre's always been part of community celebration in Hoxton and in the East End. I mean, there's several old music halls around here. It's not as though we're bringing theatre to an area that has never heard of it. The pensioners remember coming here years ago to old music halls or going to the Brit and seeing Mary Lloyd. It's already part of the culture. The adult drama group is just one of our activities here. We work in a community centre. A lot of the activities are facilities provided for people, after-school play club for kids, an adult literacy scheme, legal aid, play groups, women's group, and pensioners' lunch clubs. In fact, the pensioners here sometimes give their own music halls very informally, but they know all the old songs and they're very used to singing and dancing.
I'm sorry about that.
Some of our plays are prepared with schools in mind, and we talk to the teachers first. And then we go away with an idea, discuss it, improvise around it, do some research. And then they bring their kids here, and we discuss it with the kids and the teachers afterwards.
Yes, sir. I've always understood, Mr. Vernon, that it's every man and woman's right to work. Now, what do you answer to that? I'd like to change that a little, sir. I would like to say it is the right person's right to work, and that is the truth. You say, that lot have got more value, and they're the ones that can work. If it's not here now, then they can't work.
That doesn't strictly follow. Maurice,
oh, you can laugh, you can laugh.
It is work. My research was simply about simple physical characteristics, which it doesn't follow that some are better for work than others.
Well, you started thinking, you're responsible for it.
God knows what is going on. I don't think you should listen to this troublemaker, Dr.
Listen, mate, you've been telling me I'm rattling on, yeah?
We see what we're doing as a mixture of being able to perform as artists ourselves and help make it possible for local people to be involved in creativity. Here we've got all the facilities of a professional theatre. They can be used by anybody around here who wants to come, and we treat as seriously the plays that local people make up as we do the National Theatre performance, which we had here once. The way we work as well is to work together as a group making up plays, and we think it's a very good activity for other people to be involved in and feel confident about, even people who can't read, for example. You can get together and decide what issues matter to you and make up a play about it, and everybody's in a position to contribute, and it becomes a sort of culture that doesn't belong to somebody else, it belongs to you.
Enterprise not as a political project, but as a politicising project, if you like. I mean, it offers people opportunities, it offers people knowledge, and offers people a certain amount of facilities and resources to set up their own organisations, to find out how to find out about things, to find out how to help themselves. And in that sense, we see ourselves as politicising. I mean, the coffee bar obviously serves as a meeting room, meeting place for lots of local people, for young kids, older people, people who are unemployed. I mean, you can see that lots of people sit here and play chess and draughts all day long, and that's quite an important facility to offer. It offers cheap food so that everybody that comes in can afford to buy something. And it also offers information on what's happening locally. And the bookshop certainly was, when we first started up, the only bookshop in the whole of this area. And we try to be a general bookshop so that we appeal to everybody that lives in Hackney, not just the left wing or certain political groups. We try to appeal to everybody. The coffee bar is first of all the entrance to the project, so lots of people, everybody that comes into the building either come in through the bookshop or the coffee bar. I mean, some sorts of projects that just have like an advice centre, you actually need a reason to go in. You need to have a problem to go into an advice centre, or you need to have a specific sort of problem to go into something like a literacy centre or something. I mean, Centerprise, it's got a straight commercial front, so people don't need to feel inhibited or to feel that there's something special about them to go in. They can just come in and just buy a cup of coffee or just buy a book if that's all they want.
It's a great place to come if you're in the market shopping. You know, it's reasonable. You can bring the kids in. You know, there's always lots of room to bring a pushchair in. And it's just always easy to come into. I'll go and buy the Spare Rib magazine and things that I wouldn't have even thought about before, really.
And is that through just talking to other people that work here or other customers? Or?
I think it's the people that work here, talking to the people that work here, really. Well, and also it's just, you know, having the bookshop there, you know, I've been in and had a look, you know, whereas probably before, if I've been into the bookshop, which I did, it was only to the children's books. You know, I never looked at the magazines and that you sell.
Writing poetry can be a way in which people think about what's happening around them and explore it together, communicate what they're thinking to other people, and perhaps begin to think about the possibility of changing it, because there's a lot of sort of fatalism, you know, it's always been like this and it'll always be this way and nothing's ever going to change it, that sort of thing, which is a very common attitude. And writing poetry can be a way of disturbing that attitude in yourself and others. I think I started writing around 76. Quite a lot of things were happening to blacks and so on at that time. Black consciousness came to me relatively late. At first I was a bit dodgy about being called black and so on, because there's a lot of unnoticed racism in Britain, in standards, values, in education and so on. This is a poem I wrote in 76 when I began to become aware. It's called Black is Not a Skin Colour. Black is not the colour of the skin. Black cannot ride in posh cars or look with contempt on the poor. The hand is black that wields a machete, cutting sugar that others may grow rich. Black sleeps rough in corrugated iron shanty towns. Black, tilling the soil, is drained by the vampire landlord, but raises a voice of revolt. Black grips the guns and the knives to bring down the well-off and mighty. Black is the colour of a heart.
Centerprise, since the poetry project started 6-7 years ago, I mean, has sold over 100,000 copies of its own publications. Now, if one assumes that at least half of those have been sold in the borough, I mean, that is a massive kind of new relationship between books and people. I mean, it's actually making reading, the possibility of writing, an everyday activity, whereas before it was a mystical world of books that are only reviewed in certain exclusive newspapers. I mean, people now just have a much more happy relationship with books, because it's likely that they'll know the author, or they'll know where the author worked because they work there. And the whole idea of the writer has been completely democratised. The writer now can be somebody who works alongside with you.
Since I've been writing, I mean, for me personally, it's a matter of finding out where I am. I mean, what I stand for. And I think, you know, the writing, I mean, some of the stuff I write might not be that acceptable to some people, more acceptable to others. But what I'm concerned about is, do I accept it?
I remember once recently reading a book of essays by a working class writer of the 30s, and he said in it, I know there's a lot more in me than ever comes out. My mate knows there's a lot more in him than ever comes out. And the problem and the point of this kind of politics, this kind of cultural politics, is to begin to allow people, you know, just to unburden all the things that they've got potential for inside themselves. And so when the Centre Prize started publishing, suddenly from nowhere throughout Hackney, people started bringing stuff in, you know, as though this had been a catalyst and it had liberated suddenly from different flats and houses, people who'd been privately and secretly writing. Here was something that, you know, that was going to actually open up these possibilities. I mean, the Hackney Writers Group never had, you know, put on a slogan, we are anti-racist, anti-sexist. But all the people that come to the group and listening to each other and talking to each other, they end up understanding how stupid racism and sexism is, how arbitrary and how just, that's putting people back, burying them. And we're, you know, writing is the process of liberating them.
82, and a hearse punctuates finality. Life's beginnings and endings. Endings and beginnings. Not always smooth and gentle like today. Not with such pomp and colour did she live her careworn day. Today, a birthday and no one knew. No one follows, and a distant neighbour swallows. Comes the sequel, comes the green van, comes the crash of age-dried things against unimpressed grey stone. The rocking chair where many tales were told, the fresh washed faces in nightclothes, the grouping round a gramophone, and the table she laid with love. Things so overdue for a replacement, now left dying, smashed in a basement. But not the antique dresser, so carefully handled down the stairs, and quietly to the large white house in Kensington.
A sceptred isle. Here I am, a slave, lying under a stone. They say ever so often, stones are turned. The gentlemen who own this island shriek, a monster, a freak, guaranteed to reek of sin, of lust, of unbridled greed. They don't know that with the nail of my toe, I scratch the name of freedom into the sand.
Peter and I sat together on an over-scrubbed bench on an antiseptic floor against a white-tiled wall. We were looking at the police recruitment posters opposite. A strange place to have them, I thought, seeing as the only people right up to see them were either already in the force or suspected criminals. Maybe both. Peter and I played I Spy for a while, but we kept coming up with W for wall. Fear had developed into boredom. The old Bill reappeared. Right then, he said, you're the two who were trying to make off with the roadworks lamp, aren't you? Yes, I said. No, said Peter. We were the two who have been accused of trying to make off with the roadworks lamp, aren't we? Accused? Exclaimed the old Bill. Been arrested, have you? No, whined Peter. I don't think so. What are you two, communists or anarchists? What were you doing brandishing council roadworks lamps around in the middle of the street? Hoping to make a Molotov cocktail out of it, were you? The old Bill sat down beside Peter. Who'd you vote in the last election then? He asked him. Labour, said Peter. Now that was a chance. He knew the coppers suspected him of being CP, WRP or SWP. And Peter must have guessed he wouldn't swallow Conservative or National Front. So he lied. Labour, echoed the old Bill. He turned on me. What about you then? I'm too young to vote, I told him. And yet, he said, when you were brought in, you reckoned you'd spent all night in a pub. You couldn't be underage now, could you? Liberal, I said. We decided you two can go for a tenner each. What? Shouted Peter, almost jumping to his feet. It's a fine, the old Bill said. But we haven't been charged for anything, said Peter. You said so yourself. You can't just decide on a fine for something we haven't done without us going to court and all that. All that, said the old Bill slowly and calmly. That could easily still be arranged. He grinned. I saw Peter glance at the old Bill's clipboard. It had our name and addresses written on it. Saw him sigh heavily. We strolled through the sleepy streets. We'd only been able to scrape together £7.40 between us. The old Bill said that would have to do, so he let us out the back door.
It was on the Ballspun Road as one morning I did stand. I was waiting for a 38 with me money in me hand. Up steps a big inspector and he says to me, you fool, well the 38s have all been cut, you'll have to take a stroll. I've been standing here since yesterday and no buses have I seen. He took out his pocket telephone and called up the GLC. But the GLC had all gone home and they weren't coming back. And the Hackney town hall choir was singing, we are all right, Jack. 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 Today, for we've all got a car to travel near or far, and we are all right, Jack, today.
At Hackney and Islington Music Workshop, we feel that it's important that people make their own musical culture, that they learn to sing and to play together, and we mainly see ourselves as contributing towards an alternative musical culture.
The song is based on a song written by William Morris 100 years ago about the death of Alfred Liddell when he was killed by the police after a demonstration. The tune comes from a song called The Peatbog Soldiers, which was written in a concentration camp in Germany. Who comes here with torches burning? Who are these marchers stern and slow? We bear the message that the racists send us. We come back speechless, remembering the dead. Not one, nor thousands must they slay, but one and all if they were dust today. He marched and fought to stop the fascists, stood his ground that awful day. But thugs in blue ran loose with koshes, killed him as he walked away. Not one, nor thousands must they slay, but one and all if they were dust for day. You who seek to murder beauty, understand it can't be done. You killed a man, his friends are crying, but his struggle will go on. Not one, nor thousands must they slay, but one and all if they were dust today. Not one, nor thousands must they slay, but one and all if they were dust today.
One of the things that Centreprize has always tried to do is to publish work by young people, people who are still at school. Although these are young people who are still at school, the kind of things that they are writing about are the very important issues in society today. They are very adult things, even though they are regarded as children, if you like.
The cage. The racist sweats to build a cage for the black, eagerly and urgently hammering in every bolt for every bar, while the cancer of fear and hate eats away at his heart. At last he looks round at his work and gives a start, for the mighty cage is complete, and he too is inside.
Remember when I walked the streets of these foreign lands, When I walk the streets of these foreign lands and see the ways in which our people are suffering, loneliness, disillusionment, frustration, then I take a close look at myself, walking through the fire and just barely getting singed. Naturally, the mind runs back, bringing memories from back a yard. Them the place they come in like paradise, compared to this a barren place here. In a winter it's so cold and make you miserable. In a summer, the tree then green but now bear nothing to eat. I remember when we used to go down at the Poco church, when they start to sing this a song here. Read the 89th Psalm, read the 89th Psalm, the 24th verse, Deuteronomy 10:14. The prophecy tell us to learn them, to learn them, to learn them. The prophecy tell us to learn them and keep them in our minds. Boy, I remember when we used to go draw a boat. And when we want everybody to pull the same way, we start to chant. 1, 1, 1, me nini man ho. Old time sin thing come back again, oh. Me na na oh. Boy, them the days they used to sweet. Over here, man can't make rain with them. Cause 5 minutes later you start cough. And you feel chilly. Baps, a cold you catch. If you no mind sharp, it turn in a pneumonia. And now we over here, the man them are threatening me with repatriation. Little did they know that it's no threat to me. In fact, if they would have carried out them threat, I would have counted it as a blessing. For me dying to go home. But things so rough, me can't find my passage. So tell them, say, drunk me want to go Loudon, so they can blow east wind.
If you're interested, there's always something going on somewhere in Hackney.
Thank